Good morning. This is International Master and Field Senior Trainer Sekhar Sahu welcomes you on behalf of Gujarat State Chess Association and All India Chess Federation for the live commentary of round 8 of ongoing Senior National Women Chess Championship here at Ahmedabad. So, in that, let me review because still the games are going to start. Let me review the most interesting game of last round was played by Divya Deshmukh is black against Tejaswini Sagar of Gujarat. Now, the games continued after e4 Caro-Kann Tatak variation, and now this is black is having a solid position but a doubled pawns. So objectively the position black king is very safe and white has a technical edge but black has more piece activity. I guess this is an error here. It is better that white should just play bishop to d2 to neutralize the e file quickly. An error. The e4 square has become weak. This is a hasty move and not correct. It is better that black should play here knight e4 or queen to e6. Queen e6, rook e1 is not possible, and after b3 you can play queen d5. Queen e6 and you stop to neutralize the diagonal by b3, then queen d5. But this is a bad move. White could have got an advantage with queen b7 because the a7 pawn hanging, so the entering rook is not good. After queen b7, rook b8, queen into a7, rook into b2, rook e1, and then next move bishop c1 will drive the rook. After rook e1, queen moves any, the bishop c1 will drive the rook. But this is a bad move and this hands over initiative to black. Black played very good here. Now c5. Now this is also an error. It was more prudent to play rook e1 at early stage, immediately. But this is an error and black got an excellent opportunity which he missed. For example, black played here knight e4. Now bishop c3 is bad, knight into bishop, and queen bishop to e1 will lose a pawn to queen b8. Double attack on f4 and b2. Bishop e3. Here this is a very hasty move, whereas after queen to b8 the b2 pawn attacked, and strategically black is very strong because after queen to b8 the main idea, strategic goals are achieved by tactical means. After queen b8, b3, pawn to g5, g3, pawn to g4, and queen moves, then another g5. So this is very dangerous, very dangerous. After queen b8, after the move queen to b8, then you got to play b3 or rook b1, doesn't matter, and then pawn g5, a g3 is necessary, and pawn g4, and then another g5 is giving trouble to white. But I think now the position, this is a bad move. This is a bad move because the rook remains passively placed and black has the initiative. Now yet another bad move. Now you have to do something quickly about the plan. So I would say that you have to play g3 and king g2 as early as possible. Now rook e4. I think the correct move here is knight g4 and bishop f2 is obligatory, and after bishop to f2, pawn to g5, pawn g5, and after h3 knight will go back to f6 intending to knight h5 and knight e4. Clear plus for black, but not the best move. though it is playable, not the best correct move. Ng4 was more accurate. I think it is better you play rook to f2 to, but rook f2 and Ng4 is coming. So okay, so took it, and now good move. This is a error. Now pawn into pawn is best, because after pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn is more or less forced, and rook e3, bishop into d6 forced, then queen to d2, black plays queen e5 with a very strong initiative. Very strong initiative. The knight, queen, rook, they are well combined and controlling the file. So pawn takes pawn was plus, but Dibya chose knight into pawn, but then Tejaswini defended very well with queen d3, and now king into check. King g2 is a blunder because rook to g4, so only move. Now rook g4 and queen check. Now again queen. So white is willing to repeat moves and take a draw. With 33 seconds left in the clock, black tried surprisingly to play for a win. Black is piece down, and time is also very less, and played more ambitious bishop e5 and was punished. Simply pawn d6. There is no threat, not a threat. Now bishop d2 is having no effect. After bishop d2 you can play even king to e2 or king f1 for that matter. Nothing happens, the queen is coming. So queen check now, and king h1, not king h2 of course. King h2 will get a very bad move because queen coming, rook check is coming. So the only move, and black has nothing more. This game is lost. Simply a piece down. Now this is symbolic, this is finish. End of the initiative and simply a piece down. Alright, so there is fluctuation of fortune, always it is there, and it was not a wise decision to avoid repetition, that too in severe time trouble. Okay, let's go to the round 8 now. Round 8. So Bhakti Kulkarni is white against Marianne Gomes. She played a very good game against Soumya Swaminathan yesterday. What happened? Something wrong? Are? Very strange, eh? It is stuck. I have to go back to the now. Yes, then Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. I will deposit after the lunch. I will deposit the money. Okay. So let's see. Have a look at the game. Bhakti Kulkarni. So we have this sharp. We semi-Taras system now. Now after E3, the position is very dull. It is very dull actually. More prudent was to play here D5. So NC6. So this is now NC6 and next D5 was good anyway. So Barry decided to trade pawns. Somehow this is means very suspicious move I believe, because after bishop takes knight and nd queen into b2, nd2, pawn into f6 and bishop d3, white is ready to castle. So I think it is a very risky line chosen by Mary. Let's see the next board. Mahalakshmi versus Soumya. So there is a King's Indian defense and Auerbach system. So this is the main idea of Auerbach, that black cannot play the standard e5, that will lose a pawn. Now it is very strange, it happened in the game, white was Mahalakshmi I think, white was Mahalakshmi and black was Varsini probably. So here e5 is a blunder, simply loses a pawn. c5, you can play knight a6 and c5 also. So apparently white has slightly better game, because now a tempo is on the way. So already white is going for a very sharp play. Want to castle queenside and storm the pawns. After castles, that storm with s3 g4. Now h5 is bad because of knight s3 or knight f3. Who is this player? Padmini versus Varsini. So this variation, it is a good line but not very dangerous for black. White's intention, now e5 is good. Okay, here you can play knight to f3 and knight to f3, what did you do? Knight to f3, then black will continue with knight queen c7, not allowing bishop c4. After knight f3, queen c7, bishop d3, and then continue with g6, bg7 castle. So this is a standard theory and should be little better for white, slightly better for white. After now queen c7 is necessary to stop bishop c4, and after queen c7, bishop d3 and ready to castle. Kiran Manisha versus Srija Seshadri. So going for the solid Royal Lopez, this variation d4 is good. Now bishop g5. No, this is hardly you can count on an advantage. After bishop g5, pawn f6 is necessary. You cannot exchange the bishop, and bishop g5, knight ge7 is bad because of bishop f6. After bg5, f6, and white has a better game because anyway he is going to recover the pawn. So this should be good for white. Okay, but it's a strange move. Black has nothing to worry. He has a pair of bishops. The king side majority hardly any effect here. White's king side majority has little effect. The double bishop black's position is preferable. Maybe better castle quickly. Okay, this is also nothing wrong. Castle. Now, if white's castle shot, bishop into c3 will come. Bishop into c3 will come. So, white got to castle long now. If you castle long, you will castle long. But anyway, this is a lackluster game. Who is this? Mrudul Dhyankar versus Tejaswini Sagar. So Mrudul is following the game. Who is Arpita Mukherjee and Tejaswini game. Mrudul is following that game. After now, everything went identical. Now queen c8, rook d8. Whether she is going to repeat that game? Now all this thing happened in the game Arpita Mukherjee versus Tejaswini 2 rounds before. Now queen c8, queen e2, rook d8, or rook e1, rook d8, queen e2. So all this thing has happened. So as Tejaswini has got something different in mind now, or she should suspect that Mrudul Dhyankar has come prepared for that queen c8. Now Monica Bomini versus Sarayu. So goes for the Larson variation. It was better to play cautious a5. It was better that black should have played here a5. Now this is theoretically well prepared line. Oh, this is somehow the point is that after bishop to h8, the bishop will settle in the game for a long time. He will not able to come out easily. With the idea of g4 making life difficult for black. because after knight moves g4, you take and the check on the g line can be very little dangerous. Now, for example, now knight to e8, suppose, then g4, then f5 is bad. f5 is bad. Simply, the king is running out of space. When the check on g5 will be lethal. Okay. Let's see the next game. This is Esa Karvade versus Sneha Haldar. The symmetrical English. Well, here more in the line, the well-trodden path is g6 and knight c3, bg7, a symmetrical setup. And after that, white has a choice to play either nf3 or e3 and ne2. So in any case, hardly white can count on an advantage in this kind of setup. So she goes for d6. May not be the best approach. Now, black has an interesting maneuver instead of e5. So I would recommend here black knight h6. See, in this position knight h6 is not good. I mean, no, who is this game? No, Monica Bomini. No, this game I saw, next game. In this position, Esa Karvade and Sneha Haldar. Now knight h6 would be a bad plan because h4 can come. But after castle, knight h6 is safe because h4 is pointless now. Knight h6 and now you play some d3, knight to f5, taking a total grip of d4 square. Now since white has castled, black should take advantage of this and play knight to h6 and knight f5. Excellent position. In a game, Botvinnik and Gligoric, Botvinnik had not castled. When Gligoric played knight h6, Botvinnik punished with h4. If the rook was an h1, knight h6 is bad because of h4, h5. So, knight f6, h6 is a very easy equality. I would say very comfortable game for black. So, how is white going to fight for d4 square? Not the best move. Well, there's nothing great about the position. White is preparing to push the pawn and gain lot of space. So black has to do something. Black must do something now. Because the d5, the knight will be pushed back to b8 only. Knight a5 will be bad. Okay. Ritika Malik. Isha Sharma, WIM versus Ritika Malik. So, it is a Sicilian firework. English attack. This variation has not a good reputation. No, you need not repeat because now if you can repeat. But I think b3, knight g4 at the move. Here white should play here bishop g5. Bishop g5 should be good theoretically. I don't know if there is any modern improvement. Is there anything wrong? Knight g4, bg5? I don't think so. Okay. So we have turned out to a Boleslavsky variation. And this is a very harmless variation. Now, black should play knight into knight. After knight into d5, e d5, bishop f5, c4, pawn b6. I think I prefer black because only if you allow the c5 break, then the position makes sense. Black should have a very comfortable game. After knight, bishop into knight and bf5, and if you castle, then nd7, b6. This is very nice. Or even a5. Or even a5. Okay. Knight d7. Very strange here. Very strange. The point is now if queen goes back, now here you can play b5 and knight b6, but this is less ambitious. Less ambitious. White has two bishops and nothing to fear. The variation chosen by Mitika is not very wise. Earlier, just one move before here, you should have played here. No, not this. Now, after this, knight into knight and bf5 with an excellent position because the pawn is free, and the c4 you get b6. Buddha versus India. So, white has the center. White has got advantage in center. Rook e1, bf8, bishop f4. White is little better already. Chitlange Saki versus Rebecca. This position, I would say in this position, here bishop g5 is the more correct, as played by Larsen against Kavalak or Kavalak against Kasparov. So bg5 is more to the point and provoke h6 and then come back to bishop e3. And now knight to f3 is more better because to meet knight c5 with nd2 or bishop d3. Knight c5 is met by bishop to c2. Then eventually, after bishop d3 and c5 bc2, white will prepare some g4 followed by knight e2 and g3 with some attacking prospect. I think black has little problem in this because eventually the underdevelopment of white will not offer him anything, and break is coming. Now the break is coming. f6. F5 will be bad when then two pieces are settled there. So f6 break is quite good. There is nothing to fear because the underdevelopment, he has to make so many moves. This is okay for black. Now Sati Ghate, e4, e5. Sati Ghate is white. So it is a closed Guico piano. To transpose the game to close Royal Lopez by bishop b3 and bc2. Roundabout way we have entered a royal pace. Okay, just slight better for white. Now Divya Deshmukh versus Maniska. After a serious setback in the last round, Divya has to fight to get into the top by trying his best next few games. Let's see the game. Very harmless system. Now, very easily black equalizes with c5. Not necessary. Why play passively? Just c5. c5 and dc5, queen a5. Should be equal. After black plays c5, suppose you play dc5, queen a5. Or you play some other move, then bishop d3 can be met with dc4. So this is simply c5 is equal. This is harmless line. I think this is not good now. I would prefer here pawn into pawn when the knight is saddled in a bad piece. Redundant knight. After cd, ed, now you can play bishop d3 or you can play even queen c2. Black has a redundant knight and having problem there on c7. cd, ed, rook c1 is also good. Probably the game is equal now. Because a d5 will be met with knight b6. After you consider the white bishop, what is left in the game? So this is not correct. I think at the moment, Divya, when he played NB d7, I would say CD, she can count on an durable advantage on the king side. After CD, ED, then H3, because you save the bishop and preparing for a sharp game with queen to C2, long castle. Should be good. Okay. So this is having no danger, easy equality now. Hardly you can count. Now if you retreat of the bishop, he can play bishop to c6. White has no more active play now. Okay. Sakshi Jain versus Saina Salonika. Are? She is not there? Walkover. Oh my god. What went wrong? You just walk over. Something is wrong. So it is Vishti Mukherjee versus Vishwa Vasnawala. It is unwise. I think this strategically is not good because not only strengthen the center, it is also opening the file for white suppression. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Excuse me. This is Arpita Mukherjee versus Subhi Gupta. I think black is ignoring the development of the king side. This is hardly you can count on anything here. Why people play this variation nowadays, that bf4 nf3, when there is so much of thrill and excitement in the main line? So this offers very little scope for either player. Okay, black has got a lot of space now. Black has lot of space because knight into f5, the grip on e4 will come. Mimi George, Jessica Raut. So we enter the classical Chigorin system. So in the Zaitsev variation, white is normally theoretically is little better for white. It turned out to a Smyslov. The more to the point is bishop c2 here. Bishop c2 is more prudent. So what is happening? Nisa Mota. So Scotch opening. So white is already better. White is already better because now that the queen has come suddenly, attacking f4 f6 and pawn into g5 will run to knight into check, and then queen into g5, queen into queen, and knight into rook. So you will have two pawns and not a good idea to play this here. I would say at this moment, I mean, you could instead of playing this way, this variation, queen f6 also is possible here. So this is okay, nothing wrong. And now you complete a normal development. Knight f6 is okay. Knight f6 should be okay. There is already problem. Forced rather, because if you play knight to e7, there is a checkmate in two moves. Knight g e7, there is a checkmate, knight check and bishop check is a mate. Already black is collapsing as early as move 10. After the various model variation, you f6 pawn is under 3 attack, and if you take f6, knight into check, then only move is king to e7, and then queen into check. There is you have to go somewhere to f7 again. Then you can take queen into queen and take knight into, then knight e6, then you can play bishop c4. Bishop c4, even you can play a4 a5 also, because there is time, the b pawn has not moved, you can play a4 a5 also, that should be okay. Or bishop c4 threatening to take and run, no, that would be not correct, this knight will not come out, maybe. So I think already black is in serious trouble by move 10. Let's return to the top boards. Now, so today is 8th round, so the only few more rounds left, and the battle for the big prize money and the covetous national title is on. Now in this position, I mean, I would say that this is not the best move you should have played. Why this? Why this move? You can play here bishop into knight or nd2 and queen into b2, and you play bd3 and castle. So queen cannot get away by taking 3 pawns, leaving all underdeveloped. Okay. So black's adventure paid off. I would say the game is slightly better for white. The center is in control. Still white should be little better. Plus equal. Okay. Maharashvi on the second board. Larson variation. This is rather forced. Is the sacrifice working? Is this working? I suspect, because I don't think so, it should not work. after pawn into g5, if you play bishop to g5, you have bishop f6. You have bishop f6. Is something wrong with that white has overlooked and giving the bishop as early? How it is coming? I don't see the attack, because black has one minor piece to develop which is not serious. So I think after pawn into bg5 you can play bf6. The simple move after of course he should not run to bh6, then queen c2 check is there. After pawn into bg5, bh6 is bad because of queen c2 check. I think simply bf6 should be good. The check is pointless there. Bishop check, king to h8. Okay, let's see, pawn into now what else you got? After pawn into, the queen check is useless, bishop into, and bf6, what have you got here? You have queen check. Okay, that should not be good. So it went very fast. No, why give this? Why? You are giving a defensive piece for unwanted knight at c3. Just bf6, what is wrong? Very strange. Okay, you have got the king is being given a shelter by white's h pawn. So knight e5 should be okay. I think it is knight e5, white has g4. g4 cannot come, knight into pawn check is there. So knight e5, you got to castle first. But still this is totally unconvincing, the piece sacrifice. I think black can digest it. So Padmini versus Varsini going on at very slow pace, and we had seen this position and here. So Queen c7 she did not play. White position is slightly better. White is slightly better. Okay. I don't think this Kiran should have played this, because this weakening the c3 square for no reason. You can do all that. Same thing with bishop on c4. You can do same thing bg5. Technically white is little better, but the redundant knight at e2. Who is this? Mudul versus Tejaswini. So she played the same thing. What she Arpita played. So Arpita was, yes. Tejaswini is repeating the same thing. But this time, uh, I think Mrudul's move is better because not playing rook e1, no reason. This is not very wise to weaken the king side. Not a very wise decision to do this. I would say that here instead of uh, instead of playing this, white can prefer to play nc3, the Paul Keres line, nc3, bb7, nd5. nc3 is better than a4, I think. Knight a5 is not possible, and if you play d3, you can play nd5, nd5 should be good, or maybe a3, then nd5. So a repetition of position. So is preparing to attack. Maybe here more correct is rook e1, because the sacrifice is not working. Rook e1 is good, intending to knight f1, or maybe you can play king to h2 also. Monica versus Sarai. Very strange positions. Why you have to take this when you can play bishop into, queen into a2, pawn is there. Yeah, uncastled king. So you have to take. Yeah, I think black has a good game now. The only thing, the bishop is bad, but it is not permanently bad. You can come back by f6. g4 now. If g4, knight e8, and g5 means f6 is there. So hardly white can count on anything here. So black is hanging on to the extra pawn. Black is hanging to the extra pawn. What you to do? White is preparing to play b4. interesting would be to play d3. No, I think here the move d3, queen d3, bishop f4 is there. Queen d3, bishop f4 with a broken pawn structure on the king wing. Extra pawn you return. d3, queen d3, or if you play bishop e5 is a blunder, pawn into c2 is there. So d3, knight moves, no good knight move. So d3, queen d3, bf4, gf4 should be good for black. Okay, he's still having that option. The point is, after b6, knight b3, knight c4 is unplayable because of bishop into queen into rook c1 is coming. So you can't take that pawn. So nb3 and next rook c1, white has an edge. After nc3, castle, rook c1, white on top. What is a top seed game? Oh, bf4, bd2 has to come. You have to play bd2, knight into, pawn into. Now white seems to have some prospect. After this artificial moves of black, that white has bishop d2 now, and if you knight in, knight, pawn into, and knight d5, you have got little better game. Okay. What happens here? Arpita is playing very sharply. Now, after bishop to g6, because b4 is bad, after bg6 f4, bg6 f4, giving some trouble. What else he can do? bg6 has to be played. Most likely bg6, then white is intending to play f4, threatening to play f5. White is desperate to win the game, fighting for any place in top 10 or top 4. Unexpected g4. So the Zaitsev variation turned out to transpose to Smyslov system, and White is enjoying a small advantage anyway. Okay. Just safer, instead of playing this move, black would play the safe knight d7, bishop e3. Now knight d7 is correct, and white will keep the bishop to e3. Then black can play a5, preparing for knight c5. Not so nice. White stands better. Okay. What is happening? What is left in the game? Eh? Queens off the board and symmetrical structure. Let's return to board 1. Intending knight f1, knight g3. Queen e2 is harmless. Queen e2, it is harmless. You can play simply queen to d6 or queen c7. How to read the game here? How to read the game? Rook's the c3 pawn attacked. I would say here queen c7, knight f3 is there. So queen e6, bf5 is there. I think what you will do? Queen c7, knight f3, queen into pawn check. So queen c7 is good because this gives you time. Queen c7 is good. Black just need to move the king or b6. Now this is a strange move. I think white gets better now. White gets a better game now. White simply White simply can play rook s3. Rook s3 is a good move. Or first bf5 and then rook s3. Maybe it is bf5 is good because queen e7 you have queen check. Not queen check. I think you can play rook s3 also. I think this is incorrect. Most accurate move was queen to c7 when knight f3 was not working because of a check. What can you do about now? You can play rook s3 now. Idea rook e3. Bishop into pawn is unplayable. So very quickly she played. I think queen c7 had a better choice. Okay. The first board game error like this is very serious. When the very high prize at stake and the prestige of the national top place. Simply queen c7. I don't see any problem for black. Knight f3 doesn't work, and if you castle, then black can just move the king to f8 and king to g7. Just simple good. Rook s3. Bishop f5 and bishop exchange, you will invite the rook. So I would say the one possibility that you can play bishop f5, then queen to e7, then queen b5 check. No, that would be not correct. You have to play rook s3. Direct rook s3 is best. Not doing any trick. Simply defending the pawn indirectly. What happened here? Piece sack. Simply gone. I don't see anything. Did she return the piece? Why you have to return the piece? I would say at this moment, just bishop f6, probably it is in a winning position after bishop f6. The bishop has to retreat and just double up the pieces. So, cannot understand. And here, just returning the piece. cannot believe. Very difficult to understand this game. I would say black is for choice here. The queen at e2 is hardly any good activity. Here the queen e1 was better. Queen e1 is better. Or b e3 was better also, and g4 is coming. Black is a very easy, pleasant position. Kiran Manisha versus Srija Sesade. Black's position is preferable. Bishop pair. Definitely black is better. After the move pawn to b6, the bishop will return to bv7 with a terrific effect. I don't see black should play here b6 followed by bb7. It's a fantastic position. I don't see why this move. What is the idea of this move? It is better to play nd2, and if nb4, bishop b1. Absolutely, black has no problem now. The two bishops are okay. The position of black king, black has to be very careful. Model game, maybe you can play rook to c1 No, you can't do that because a pawn is hanging. Because queen h5, knight f6 is there. Okay. Don't see what is wrong with rook h3. Rook h3 giving a serious threat of rook to e3. Is she worried about d3? Rook h3. Is white worried about pawn d4? It should not be a threat because the knight f3 is coming. Safest course is rook e3. Okay. Hardly anything left for white. There is nothing after the capture. Knight to d4 is a possibility. Should be equal. After nd4, d5 is coming. d5 is not coming because of pawn into pawn. The knight is attacked. Knight f3, queen f3. d5 is not coming. After nd4, what is he going to do? White gets little better, intending to prepare for knight f5. After nd4, knight f5, white position is more attractive. Hardly a white can count. He should have played nd4. nd4 was desirable. Knight to e8, knight e8, bishop into queen is useless. Best of move. Should have played nd4 with advantage. Now after knight e8 is nothing. Absolutely no use of the move bg5. Kiran Manisha. So what black is thinking? It is a very easy move to find. b6. b6 bb7. Oh, okay. Black position looks better now. White is unable to play d4 because cd, then there is a counter play. d4, cd, ed, and then knight b4 is coming. It is possible to play d4, but it's not great. d4, ed, for take the c pawn, take the e pawn, and d5. Okay. Black looks better to me. The idea is that if knight moves bishop to e7 and e7, b7 will trap the rook. What can you do? Black is very much cramped. Under the circumstances, uh, Black's best is to play bd7, bishop c8, and bishop bd7, and then bishop to c8 and nd7. Then only you can bring the knight, and without that there is no play. So more or less practically forced bd7 and bishop c8. Enable him to play nd7 and then c5. Sneha Haldar. So Sneha is grimly hanging to the pawn. Extra pawn is very difficult to recover. Black is better. Pawn into g4 and bishop retreat to e3. White has the better of it. White is better. Is he preparing to exchange sack or what? Is he preparing for an exchange sack? Bishop to h3. What is the idea? Bishop h3. You can't play rook h4, so you got to play rook into g5, and then bishop into c8, rook into c8, then bishop g5 and g5, rook e1, rook g1. I think it looks bad for Rebecca position after bs3. bs3 should be good for white. This is why rook s3 was good. This would have now castle would not have been possible. Now rook e3 f6, out of all problems. Now pawn f6, if knight f3, rook e8. In the earlier game, he should have played simply, right? Instead of playing all these exchanges, just rook s3. Rook s3, then I don't see how black will castle is, then rook e3 is there. This is not a wise move because inviting the bishop and castle quickly. I cannot understand why black had to return the piece. At the moment bishop c3, she has virtually a wrong sack here. Bishop f6, I don't see. What is he going to do for that? By move 15, black is in a winning position, I believe. By move 21, it is black who is better. Queen is 7. Rook s3 can come. f5 is just castle. Black is for choice, of course. The knight on e5 is a good place, but that's all about it, and the king is not very safe. So no more. One white king side is a one pass extra pawn. The game may be equal, but black is for choice. White is for choice. And e8 and heading for a draw. If nd5, just be into d5. It is just a draw. What happened here? Why this move? My God. Huh? After the simple b6, it is minus plus. b6 and bb7, it is minus plus. b6, bb7, a6, c5. Should be equal, very easy equality. Now e5 should come, and if you double the rook, just move rook to f1. Should be equal, just equal, not much. Black has thrown away the advantage. Okay. Queen, Queen f3. Seems to be a bad move. After king to g7, black can operate on the king side with rook h8, or he can play knight to maneuver the knight to g6 via h7 to f8. After kg7, black has the better game. Black has clearly better game. He can operate on king side, trying to maneuver his knight to g6. So it's a bold move by how can you offer exchange? This Casas BD7 BC8, and now what have we got of exchange? Okay, the dark squares are big, but giving material is not correct. You have to play. Having gone there, there is no point in retreat. F5 is coming anyway, so better B7. And if you play F5, just take it, king into, and just take G into. I would say white will survive. So Sneha is hanging on to the extra pawn. Nothing here. Now white is preparing rook a to e1. So more or less is forced to play f6. Now or never. f6 is coming. Black must be careful because this is the last chance to play. Otherwise, white will play f6 himself. White will play f6, queen f6, rook e1, winning a material. What is he going to do? Black must play f6. Queen to queen d6 also is bad after f6. No, f6 rook will come. Now f6, queen into pawn, rook is coming. So either you move queen to c7 or then pawn f6. Queen d6, f6 is not working because of rook e6, but f6 also it looks gloomy because he is going to have some 3-4 attack there. Rook e1 and knight to f3. Mary is in trouble. Forced, this is forced. Now rook e1, threatening knight f3. Now what you can do? Knight f3 is coming. So either you move the queen to f7 or d7. Now I would say that black should play rook to e4. Idea queen e7 and triple on the line. Rook to e4. Oh, he has got queen to d3. Oh, I see. Of course, it is not a very big thing because you have got pawn f5 idea knight e4. Queen d3 is not dangerous, or c2 not dangerous. And you can pay the more cautious rook e5 also. Rook e5, idea queen e7 and triplet, triple strength on the file. What else he can do? Rook e5 looks good because queen and king and queen in the same line, so rook e5 even a check is not harmful. What about queen e7, king d2, queen e4? White is little better after bishop c4. White is little better with the idea bc5 and take the bishop. That is one plan, and d5 is other plan. Bishop c4 looks slight better for white. Not correct. Not a very correct decision. Now this is the opportunity. Now rook d7 and rook d8 exchange the rooks, then king to e6 and bishop f8. More or less draws are maybe draws or maybe black better little. How about f6? Equal. Should we draw only? Tejaswini. This is not the best way. At the moment, black had the better way of playing knight to h7, and because the knight is doing nothing there, so here you should exchange first pawn into c3, and then just move the knight to h7. You worried about the pawn, worried about the e pawn. Who is this? Monica. So she gave the exchange. Don't think black has adequate attacking chances because knight a4 is a threat. Knight a4 is a threat. So bishop to b5, not correct. Knight e4 threat is there. Can play pawn to c4 or rook b. That is good. All that you have to develop the knight. So pawn to c4 is good. So getting time to bring the knight out. bb5 is a bad because d3 square is weak. So it is very strange move. Black must do hurry up with bishop f6. Black must hurry up now because otherwise he will have a problem. Bishop f6 is good, threatening queen d8. If g5, b7 and still queen d8 and f6 break. So bishop f6 is good, only chance, otherwise it is bad. Yeah, I can delay that also. It's not a hurry. White has the problem of knight developing, where to develop. It is very slow. Bishop f6 and bring the bishop to d8 and eventually to b6. So heading for a quick draw. Just it's dead position. Giving trouble. Queen f5 can run to f3 later on. Queen f5 can run to f3. But he has a move here, h5. Now to solve the problem, you can play h5, rook into pawn h4, bishop f4 is coming. Queen f5 is bad, and b6, knight c6 is entering. You can grab rook into pawn. No, rook into pawn h4. Yes, b4, queen f5 is there. Giving trouble to white. Already in serious trouble. Okay, nothing so serious. After rook e4, h4, white has got rook to e6. So it's okay, survive. You can take rook into pawn. Isa can take rook takes pawn to meet h4 with rook e6. H into g, rook into g6. And rook takes pawn if you play queen to f5. What about that? But that would be dangerous. Rook e4, queen f5, white can give exchange sack, rook into e7 and bishop d6. Looks pretty strong for white. For the exchange, the pawn roller center. So rook into pawn is the only move, and h5 does not work. h4 does not work because rook e6, and queen f5, there he has the exchange sacrifice. It looks better for white. Who is this? Pratyusha Bodda. What about knight into pawn? Knight into d5. Knight into knight is forced. Rook into bc6 is forced. No other good move. It's force move. You got to take nd5. e5 is possible, but there is no threat. e5, you are not threatening the knight. So nd5, knight into d5, rook into d5, bc6. Yeah. What has happened top board? is happening in Dibya? Oh, this has turned out to be good for black. Good for black. I would say just b6 should be good enough. b6 should be good enough. Rook into rook, rook into rook, on b6. More or less forced. The alternative bishop b4. Why exchange your good bishop? bb4 is also possible. I think b6 and d7 may come. Rook e8. Nothing to fear. So hardly anything for the top seat Dibya. Nothing is there now for her. No easy plan. Black has an excellent position. So rook e4. Rook e4. Will he not survive after rook e4? Rook e4 looks okay. After rook e4, rook f6, or then you have queen to d3. Rook f4, now rook e6, rook f4. He can play also queen to g5 is possible. Counterplay. If rook f6, queen g5. Rook into rook means pawn into, queen attacked. You play bishop into pawn into. But the bishop is trapped. Rook f6 could is possible. Rook f6. You can play rook into rook and bf4. Get out of the problem. Rook f6 is the adequate answer, but then what? If queen to d3, king f7 can come. Rook f6. Queen g5 is not working. Rook into rook is there. So what is he going to do for rook f6? What is in the mind of Isa? Seems to be the force move, rook f6. Oh no, I did not see a good answer for rook f6. What is in your mind? What is in your mind? Queen to f5. Queen f5, rook e6. bg5. Very interesting move. How about pawn takes pawn, check, and king h1, bishop to f6? But then queen e2 is there. Pawn takes pawn check. I think black has some activity. Hello? Hello? हेलो. हाँ हम एक. हाँ बोलिए साहब. हाँ जी हाँ जी. हाँ जी. Actually I'm in a class. Can I call you after about half an hour? Yeah, okay. Yeah, but this is unconvincing. Hello? 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 Hello?
यस सर.
मैं कभी क्लास ले रहा हूँ, मीन्स लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ. मैं आधा घंटे बाद कॉल करता हूँ. आई विल कॉल आफ्टर हाफ.
मैं थोड़ी देर के बाद करूँ, आपको आपकी आवाज़ कट रही है.
मैं बाद में करता हूँ. आई विल कॉल.
ओके ओके ओके.
An interesting move, but it is not convincing because after h into g, bishop into g, the queen cannot shift to h file. I don't think it's a very wise move. Not at all correct. Not correct, I feel. I believe it is not correct. After pawn into g3 and bishop g3, queen e2, and bishop retreats, simply knight into b7. He will, the queen side is lost, and there is unconvincing attack. Because queen h5, you have you can play g3, and queen to h3, then exchange sack will come. So I think it is the attack is insufficient. After h into g3, bg3, queen e2, you got to play bishop to e5. Bishop to e5. And even white has got c4 also, c5 also. c5, queen h5 is coming. Pawn into pawn, queen e2, bishop to e5, knight into b7, queen h5. Okay. Is it working? Rook into, pawn into, then you have got c5. messy position. I think black is in trouble. Because there is no attack and the queen side roller. Even even for that matter, I would say knight into b7 and pawn into pawn, king h1, rook into c4 fails to nd6, nd6, but then rook c2 is there. So a safe alternative is h into and then pawn into pawn is not the best move possible. I think this should be very good for white after pawn takes pawn and queen e2. Alright, next let's see some top board games. Bhakti versus Mary. So it is just a pawn down and it's a bad way. One extra pawn and active king is there. So rook to d1 is the correct move because rook f6 you have got queen to d5, queen d5, rook d5 should be clear plus for white, the rook ending. Yeah, so hard time for Mary, but rook ending is the only hope for black. Rook ending is the only hope for black. So he should play queen f6, then exchange the queen and hope to survive in the rook ending. The point is white king is active, the rook in center. What else you can see? Rook into pawn, queen d5, queen d5. Should be bad way. Gradually white will consolidate and his extra pawn will decide. Switching to the g file, a very good move by Soumya because he is trying to bring rook a to e8. Good move. Now, in the given circumstances, now if rook d2, then rook e8 and knight e5. I think it is better the get rid of the queen quickly. Rook into pawn is there, but anyway, black is getting better of it. The end game is clear plus for black. The white pawns are bad, and knight is better than the bishop here. Queen d3. Queen d3. You should play rook e8. Queen into queen and rook into, and clear better. If rd2, then uh, you can play here knight e5 is there, or rook e8 is there. Black is getting the pawn back with interest. So good for black, Soumya. Padmini versus Varsini. It seems that you got to play move queen out of that rook's line. The other alternative, rook to e6, but then the sacrifice may come. No. Yeah, rook e6 is not working. You take and bg6 is there. So you got to move the queen only to somewhere d7, but then a piece sack is coming. Sack is coming. Already black is feeling the heat. What else you can do? White is nearly winning the game. No good. White is just clear winning. Next. Hoping rook did knight e3, you grab the pawn. Still, this is okay. This is okay. Idea king to attacking the opponent, king c6. But then key b7 will come. You see, black run into a mating net by coming king into d5, king c5. White should not run into a mating net. No, there should be no mating net. If rook into pawn, the b passer becomes dangerous. So you have to be careful about the b passer. After rook into pawn, pawn f5. He should have grabbed the pawn instead of this move, because this is not so looking dangerous. Now rook e1 is coming. You can play nd5 as well. nd5 threatening knight e7 check. nd5, then black may play king to d7 and white can play pawn to f5. Should be okay. Some counter play. You take, I take. But then white looks dangerous, two pass pawns. But black also can create a pass pawn, advance pawn at b4 is there. In any case, nd5 is the best choice, not rook e1. If rook check, king f3, rook check, king g2. Oh, the knight is getting trapped, by c6. I see. A devilish trap. nd5, there is a nice devilish trap is there by Srija, because you have a rook check and rook e3 check, then c6. The knight is getting almost squeezed out of the board. Knight a5 will not come out. So nd5 is bad. Unfortunately, the passive rook e8 is the only move. When rook takes pawn, and then nd5 can come. Necessary, rook e1 is only move. Rook e1 is only move. When the move is forced, why waste time? Why waste time? Kiran should play rook e1, rook into pawn, then pawn to f5. Idea pawn into pawn, king e5, rb1 is coming. It is problem. I think black is aired now. After rook e1, rook into pawn, black's potential threat is rook to b2. That is why at the moment I was thinking here that instead of playing this move, he could have played, what can we do here? Anyone is not working. Anyone is not working. The practically only force move. What about king to e3? The same thing. If rook d2 anyone. Now king to d3, rook d2 anyone, and then you bring the knight to d3 with some of a counter play. But now I think black is in a very bad way. Now check this move. So you got to play rook e1, and after rook into a2, rb2 is a serious threat. They're too slow. White is too slow. I think in a bad way. Probably black will mop it up. Very difficult for white. Mridul and Tejaswini. With the turn of events, it is now white is looking better because the center, black is thrown into passivity. White has become better. What can white do? What can white do? A move, white can think of a move of queen to h2, because suddenly he may have some king f2 and rook h1. Queen h2, when f5 means bishop g5 is there. Immediate king f2 is bad because of f5. So I would recommend, and queen s2, and king does not find a safe haven at g8, because white will play bb3, giving him trouble. When b6 d5 is coming. So under the circumstances, queen f2 is correct, because the plan is to play rook f3, threatening bishop into fc6. Queen s2 with the idea rook f3, trying to double the rook 1, and even tactical threat of bishop into, followed by rook s3. So queen s2 is the correct move for Mridul. But what is the defense of black on queen s2? Black queen is terribly badly placed. Rook b8 is doing nothing, queen is doing nothing. And how can he improve the position? On queen to h2, what will he do? What will he do? Oh, I don't think it's correct idea. Is looking at h7. Preparatory queen h7 was better. Preparatory queen h7 was better. Okay. The, because this gives a free hand to the bishop. Now bishop can move. The knight is not under pressure, but where bishop will move where? That is also a good question. Where? White is anyway good. How can black improve the game? In this position, I recommended queen to h7, queen to h2. Queen h2 is giving a tough time. Idea rook f3. Anyway, this is also not a bad move, focusing on h7. Looking for a sudden e5 break and queen h2. I think black is in trouble. Who is this? Monica versus so g5. G5 is bad because anyway he is going to have a break. More or less forced. There is hardly any choice. There is hardly any choice. What else you can do? Aha. Not working. I thought of 4 and then queen d4. I don't think it is working, doing anything great. f4, pawn into pawn, queen f4 is not so attractive. What will you do? What are you going to do for f4? Pawn into pawn, queen into pawn will come. It's a risky business. It is a risky business for black. Because knight g4 is on the way, so f4 giving a hard time. Draw, it's a draw. What is there left? So I agree to a draw. Still thinking. I think knight into pawn, then rook into knight into rook c2, knight into queen, rook into queen, knight into bishop, pawn into pawn. Or pawn into pawn check h1, you can do all that. Knight into pawn, rc4 is obligatory. There is nothing in a pawn check. There is nothing in the pawn check. Rook c4, knight into pawn, rook c2. Knight into queen, rook into queen. Then knight into h4. So what have you got for that? A piece up. And rook e2 and rook e1 is not coming. After that g3 and kg2, it is mopping it up. I think knight d6 is, who is this white? Isa Sharma is probably winning. After knight into, I don't see any big counterplay. One check, king to h1, there is nothing. You will play queen to h5. Queen to h5. Okay. But then yeah, that is a possibility. 30. You cannot ignore that. You can't ignore that. So better to clear the tension pawn into pawn, and then you go queen to e2, then bishop goes back, and then you can take the pawn, knight into. Should be okay. Okay. So it turned out the technique should we draw, because 2-2 this side, and that hardly any chance for a pass pawn. It looks like a draw, but white can grind. White can grind. Preparing kf2 and rook to d4. kf2. I would say instead of this move, rook e2 and transferring the king, the only winning plan for white is you have to transfer the king to c2 or d2 and then start advancing slowly. So why waste time here? You could have done right away. Why waste time? Rook e2 and rook e3, then king e2, and eventually making progress. Okay, white is having clearly better chance, but it all depends. The technical execution has to be perfect. Mahalakshmi versus queens of the board. Queens of the board, black is already on top because saddled with a bad bishop. Already bad. The c4 pawn will fall. Should we fizzle to a draw because the d6 point is weak. should fizzle to a draw. After rook into rook, the king comes to d3. There is nothing much left. But still he should take it. And then king f6 maybe. Knight e5, it should be fizzled to a draw. Because bf4, knight e5 is hit. The rook ending is hardly any danger. Who is this? Mahalakshmi and this Soumya. Yeah, Padmini is winning. Threatening a mate. How is he going to parry the mate? Huh? How is bd4 is the only move? bd4 is the only move. After bd4, rook there. No, that was not correct. This is not correct move. This wins material. Bishop takes pawn. Bishop takes pawn. Then rook into pawn. Queen check. King h8, queen h4 check. Queen h5 check. So this is just winning. Bishop g6 is elementary piece sacrifice. Elementary tactics. bg6, g6, rook g6, fg6, queen g6, king h8, queen h5. गणपत हो गया. Why black king is bad? You are winning 3 pawns and initiative is there. Okay, there is something better. Let us check something better. There is no hurry, absolutely no hurry. You can just play rook double. You can just double the rook, because bd4, if bd4 does not come, then the variation is even much forcing. Huh? Double the rook, bd4 is only move. bd4 is only move. bd4, then bishop into pawn, pawn into rook into pawn check is coming. Now rook double is more crushing. Rook double more crushing. Knight f5 is not coming. So I think bd4 is also. I think simply rook a1 to f1, threatening a sack on g6, threatening bishop sack. How is he going to parry that? How is he going to parry that? I think rook f1 is winning. Elementary tactics probably. How is he going to stop? The threat is bishop g6. You cannot take either way. Either way is met. And bd4 does not work. Anyway bg6. F pawn is cannot move. And h pawn means you get rook into pawn and finish. Met. So bd4 does not work after rook double. I think it's all over. It's over. Varshini is losing. Hey, did he miss this one? Now rook here, played king. No. he played here rook, huh? On rook, pawn into check. It should win. This should win now. The b pawn. White is too slow already. White is too slow because black has two connected pawns and the long range bishop. The counterplay is based on kd5 kc6. So white counterplay based on kd5 kc6. So rook d2 is forced, rd2, but then you have rd3. There is alternative kb7 is there. Kb7 is there, not so serious, because kd5 kb6 and then there is still problem for white. The correct technically perfect move is kb7. When kd5 is of no use, kb6 is adequate, and rook d3 or anything. Now the b pawn is in trouble apart from f5 f4 break. So kb7, because white is too slow, knight b7 cannot come, knight g7 cannot come. White is too slow. After kb7, black is minus plus. Who is this? Srija versus Kiran. Who is this? Tejaswini versus Murdul. I think it is. She played the move execution wrongly. She played the execution wrongly. She should have played queen s2 in advance, not revealing the plan. But still now it is good. Still good. Still it is good. Now the correct move is to play d5. d5 with the idea e5 e6. d5 is correct move. So because you must not allow the bishop coming to e6 and f7. If white wants to attack, you should not allow a defending piece is coming. So on d5, the square weak is no problem. Black must play knight f8, but then it is the white is preparing another knight to d4. White is preparing a knight to d4. That is one possibility. What else you can see? Pawn push, bishop f5. White is running out short of time also. There is a move also. It's not that he is not having a move. e5 looks good. After e5, more or less bf5 is coming, but then bishop a4, and the d pawn is in trouble. Now uh, pawn e5 break. Now knight f5 or bishop f5. Knight bishop f5 runs to bishop a4. Bishop a4. Because then that d6 point is cracking. And knight f5, you will just pick up a pawn. So I think e5 break, white has an edge. E5 break, white has an edge. Knight f5 is correct move. Knight f5 is correct move. Then bishop f5 and pawn into pawn and queen takes pawn. White running short of time, there is nothing to think much. f5 is the only move. Because there are so many weaknesses. f5, probably knight f5 is only correct move. bf5 is bad. bf5 bishop a4 is very good. But then knight f5 you can take pawn into pawn, and black cannot recapture. Black cannot recapture. So e5 is crushing. In my opinion, e5 d5 has to come, but then now knight f5 has to be played. e5, let us say knight to f8. Knight f8, then pawn into pawn. You can't recapture the pawn. Okay. Who is white Murdul? You know, the, okay, let's go. Now quickly the review of the all games, because it is getting 1 o'clock. So Bhakti, this is slowly wants to grind, but given time, if you give time, then it is not correct. The only plan, the white king must come to c2. So rook to e3 and king e2, then rook d3, king d2. This is the only way. I think b5 is a mistake. a6 b5, but cuts down counterplay of rooks line to a6. Now the position should be slowly winning, but white has made lot of time waste. It is more tough now because okay. So next second game, I think it is heading to a draw. Heading to a draw. Now I would say this is a mistake. Who is this? Mahalakshmi. This is a mistake because knight into pawn, and you play king into rook check and rook into bishop. So this is 5 pawn versus 4 pawns. It is bad. It is bad. Knight into c4 is winning on the spot. And c4 is a simple tactic. The h pawn is weak, and black has all the files. So knight c4, king c4, rook e4 check, kd3, then rook e4 into rook g4 into, so that you have a check on c4, because rook g3 allows g4 c4 check. So this is probably winning. Knight into c4 is winning for the which girl? Who is that? Soumya. Soumya should be in a winning position after knight into c4. Who is this? Padmini. How the turn of events? How the turn of events? Queen coming here, rook coming, rook double. He came knight. Only defense. This is only defense. I see. What is happening? What is happening? Is rook f7 is working? Rook f7, rook f7, rook f7, king f7, queen into h7. Because queen f7 runs to bishop into e5. There is no check. So rook f7, rook f7, rook f7, king f7, queen check. Where the king is going? King to e6. King to e6. Queen e6 check. Oh, this is winning. Oh, good heaven. Rook f7 is winning. Would you believe that? Rook into rook, rook into rook, king into queen cannot take. The e5 is falling. And after king into queen h7 check, king to e6, bishop c4. Bishop c4. And queen c4, queen to g8 check. And queen pick up the queen. Good heaven. Huh? Did Padmini miss this? No, there is no time trouble. There is no reason to miss this. Why this? Why this move? Rook into f7 should win. Okay, a technical plus. This is also winning, but that was winning instantly. That was winning instantly. Rook f7. Deadly move. Rook takes, queen cannot take it. If king takes it, queen check. Then king e6, bishop c4, queen into queen g8 check. Okay. This should win. Now the storm is over, the poetry is over, the prosaic education will start. So it should be winning, exchange up and bad pieces. Alright. Lot of decisive games today in this round. So this check, I would say KB7 is the safest way. KB7 safest way. The check was unnecessary. Alright. King f3 has to be played. The worry for him is the a4 break. A4 break. Now king to come pawn push and knight c2 still pawn push. Now king to f3, a5, knight to c2, a4. Now b into a, b3. This is the trouble. The a passer is a killer. Who is this black player? Srija Seshadri versus Kiran. Now knight f5 or king f3 is bad because a5. Now knight c2, ignore the bishop, a4. Ignore the bishop. Oh no, you can take knight into bishop and pawn into pawn, nd3 is there. And a3 is not a good idea. So she has a move up his hand, but maybe you cool down, just play after king f3, a5, knight c2, just a cool bishop to c3. Bishop to c3 should be winning. Because the h passer is too slow, king in control, bishop in control, so you don't have to be brave and give the piece and play a cool bishop to c3. I think the pawn break is deciding for in favor of Srija. Otherwise, there is no hope. And there is another way. The variation king to d5 is also not working, because black can play bishop into pawn and bishop pin, or maybe even simple king and winning. Maybe simple b king d5. You can play bishop to f2 also. Bishop f2 also. Knight to d1, bishop to g1, and knight other moves. There is nothing. The break is coming. So king d5 is also not a good idea. King f3 is just losing. King d5, you have got g5, g5. Okay. g5. What do you do? Pawn push. Now a5, pawn into pawn, a3, pawn push, pawn into pawn, a4, pawn into pawn, b3. The king is coming. So white king in center can stop the b pawn. So I think you have to play. You have to take pawn into pawn. Keep a pawn alive, because bishop into pawn, anyway pawn into pawn is coming. If you have to give the bishop, still keep the pawn. Now the speed is important. Speed unnudu. Why this move? You could have clear the board. I think this is in a bad way now. White is in a bad way. Now after the king f3, king c6 is entering. What do you do? a5, king into c5. King into c5. Can he play a move like c6? Can he play a move like c6? What I mean to say. Then can knight join for the defense in time? Knight cannot go to e3. Knight e5. Knight e5, you have bishop check. King into pawn, pawn push. Pawn into pawn, pawn push. Again knight is coming to d3. So there is no danger. White is all safe. And after bishop d2, he will lose all the hope of win with king c6. After bishop d2, king c6. Is interesting variation a5. a5, king into pawn, pawn to c6. Then you have got knight e5. Knight e5. Oh my God, would you believe that? Knight e5 loses to king c7. Oh my God. Knight d3 is there. Knight d3 is there. Do you believe that there is a mating net? For a moment I thought that KC7 bishop F2 mate, but it is not coming. ND3 is coming. ND3 is coming. But the king is in a net. Yeah, it should be okay. I think after a5 king into pawn, then pawn to c6, knight e5. Knight e5 should be okay, because after pawn a4 take pawn b3 and d3 should be okay. It may fizzle to a draw. What about the variation? What about the variation? a4 king into c5 c6. But you can retreat also, king to d4, absolutely no problem. So it's a draw. So Kiran Mansa played the good move g4 in time to save the day for her. After bd2, it should be king c6. Or kb7, king into pawn, bishop d2 check. That should also fizzle to a draw, nothing more than that. So best means safer way for black to play king to b7, king into c5, bishop e7 check, king coming there, and it should be equal. There is nothing left. It's yet another draw. Who is this Murdul Dehankar? What happened? What did you do? She finally she did the break. No, she didn't do the break. She played rook f2. Why not e5? Good heaven. Why not e5? Simply pawn into pawn and one pawn up. So she played this and double. Now e5. So this is her idea. Rook e6 is not coming. So she has generated play. The rook and queen of black, b8 queen and queen c8 is poorly placed. Well, how many pawns? Is one pawn down? No, two pawn down. 2 pawn down. A problem, because if you give the exchange also is not working, because there is some checks possibly, rook into knight, bishop into and rook into knight and mating threat. The bb3 check also is very annoying. Now if you try to give the exchange, bishop into pawn into, it is a mate. bf5 is not coming. I think this lands black into deep trouble, but black has one strong point. White is having very little time. 32 means 8 moves. You got to move 8 moves. 8 moves to do to get time control back again. What can you do? The threat is mate. Bishop into rook and rook into f8 and shakmat. BF5 is not coming. So bishop rook has to got to move. Rook got to move, but where? Rook got to move, but where? Bishop, if rook is on, bishop takes rook into, then where the knight is moving? Rook h6 is coming. I think it is very difficult to defend this. Very difficult position for black today. So Monica has put up some fight by giving the exchange and getting some kind of peace activity. White bishop e2 is having no life, and I think this is good position. Black has a good position, good compensation for the exchange. Not easy. This is already draw. So I will have a quick review, the final review of the positions right from beginning. What happened to this game, Malika? So 4 pawns and row is just for exchange down. ये तो गया, ये तो जाएगा, अभी कुछ नहीं होगा, ये पतरा है, कुछ नहीं, एक चेक है, किंग आ जाएगा, आगे कुछ नहीं है. किंग आ जाएगा, किंग f2 threatening knight to f5, king f2, if rook h1, knight f5 wins. Or even knight e4, technically also winning. Can he play knight e4 now? Can he play knight e4, knight f5 now? Knight f5, rook check, king. There is a knight into check is there. How many pawns? Knight f5 should win. Tactica. Knight f5, rook check, king f2, and rook into rook, knight check is there, and queen into rook into is there. So knight f5 is winning on this spot. Let's have a quick final review of the games. Final review. Bhakti has given lot of time to Mary to consolidate. Now a4 has to be played. Having played, you create a weakness, a5, a4 and then b4. That is the best course. Play a4. Taking the pawn is bad. But then kb6 is there. Maybe king f2. Okay. So white is still better. Go quickly one round. Now in this position, what happened? So मैं अभी और 10 मिनट 15 मिनट 10 मिनट हाँ बैंक में कितना टाइम लगेगा? आधा घंटा. यार मैं तो खाना खाएगा जाएगा. ठीक है तुम जल्दी जाके आ जाओ. आधा घंटा से लेट नहीं करना. अरे कर देगा लेकिन आधा घंटा से लेट नहीं करना. So here why is not playing knight into? This should be winning. Knight into here. Okay, she got a chance. Now, still now the knight into Chani lost. So, strange. When it was winning position here, I said that knight into pawn is all over. Knight into c4 all over. Who is this? Because time trouble? No, no time trouble. Want to draw? This is still now because the d6 pawn attacked. Okay, there is an idea that you can try for some mating net because b7 is coming. So maybe you bring the king to what? Because a4 is a threat now. a4 is a threat. So it should be draw only, not more than draw. In fact, white can try because why white is coming there? Why should enter king? Okay. So this should be black lost his best chance to sacrifice the knight just few moves before here. Here he should have played knight into pawn with a fantastic position. So after that I think it should be ending a draw now. Next game. Now let us see this. This is nothing left in the game. It is a technically winning game. 1-0 already over. Next. What is this position? Kiran Manisha. It should be a draw. The king is in the center. There's a pawn push coming. Kc4. It's a draw. Nothing is there. Next. Then comes Tejaswini. So, want to give the exchange and survive. But how long? How long you will survive? This should win easily, I believe. This should win easily. c4 is one possibility, but bishop c5 can come. And now four pawns versus five pawns, one pawn. White is winning because where is he going? Bishop into, rook into. Now knight to c4 and knight e3 is coming also. That means rook has to go somewhere. And you can pick up a pawn, exchange down for pawn, nothing. This also should be winning, bishop into rook, but there should be something more than that. Running short of time, running short of time. What about rook into pawn and the queen attacked, but then rook comes where? Not correct, not correct, not correct. NC4 has to be played, good or bad. To gain some time, NC4, gain time on the clock. Knight f3, not a bad move, intending nd4. The girl is playing very safe. The threat is now knight into g5 will come. So rook must maintain the fourth rank. Rook must maintain the fourth rank. Rook into pawn is correct move. Rook into pawn is correct move. Then pawn takes pawn. I think they exchange because you play rook b5, bishop to d3, rd5, bishop c4. So rook into pawn is bad. But what to do? The exchange, the second exchange is going. Losing the second exchange. Now pawn into pawn. rb5 has to be played. Bishop to d3. And you got no other than square bb, rook d3, rook d5, bishop to c4. Again finish. You're losing the second exchange. You have to defend g5, otherwise ng5 is coming, leading to a mate. So pawn into pawn. The force move is rook b5, then bishop d3. Yeah, it is force moves. Now rook b5, bd3, rooks d5, bc4, all over. All over. Second, two exchange down. That will be terrible. And over and above, the threat also remains. The Swiss, the c pawn. bb5. bd3 I mean. Rook takes pawn loses to knight into g5. 1, 2, 3 over. So you have to lose the exchange after bishop to d3. You have to ignore that and try to bring a defense. Maybe bishop to e6. But then bishop into b5, it should win technically. Bishop into b5, rook c1, technically winning game. Because then bishop c4, b3. Yeah, it is winning. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very difficult for the black player. Okay. Interesting battle. What is happening? Monica versus Srija. There is black has consolidated. I don't feel the material down here. Black is fantastic. So who is this draw? This one. Who is this? Mitika. Isn't it winning? Did she not miss a win here? She played knight f5. She came here. King here. Rook came here. So can you not escape? Oh, I see. Can you not escape? How many pawns? How many pawns? Is it a perpetual? Is this a perpetual? No perpetual, I guess. Because queen g3, queen check, then king moves, queen check again. No perpetual. I guess there is a g3 move. In between g3 moves come. Queen g3, queen h6, king g8, queen e6, king f1 can come. I guess how many? 4 to 6 pawn, 3 pawn. You can give 1 or 2 pawn. g3, what is you doing? g3. g3, what you should do? g3, queen into pawn, then you have got rook f1 and queen to e2 check, then king h1. Then there is a mate threat. Not mate threat exactly. Why give g3? Maybe queen to g3. So she gives that pawn. And then queen f1. So that c4 is guarded. But rook f1 is better, of course. because queen g2 is there. Looks like it's a bad way, but the girl is fighting. Who is this? Okay, so see, this is bad because you should have not allowed the a5 pawn into pawn or king b6. Now after this the break, now here rook, the threat is rook to b8. The threat is rook b8, and if you play kb7, then rook to d6 will completely squeeze the black king. rc5 is there, of course. kb7, then he is pushed back. The problem is that the pass pawn is coming. After kb7, if you are going backward, rook to h8, and you can get rid of that pawn and clear f pass pawn and bad king. So this h4 a5 should not have been allowed. This is plus minus now for Bhakti. What is next? Next. Draw. Next. You won. Next. Draw. There is nothing. Should not waste time. Should not waste time here. Okay. Pawn to c5 and king to b3. Ah! Oh, there is a pawn. Oh my God. Did he miss this? Who is this player? Did he miss this? I think it is going down. Hey! Going down. Lost. From a dead drawn position. How could he lose this game? How could he lose? Now here, king. Why this move? Why this move? King should come to d4 to stop. King should come to d4 quickly. No. Losing move. King d4, pawn a4, kd3. kd3 stops everything. Oh, good heaven. And now she is not bothered. Oh my God. Oh my God. Still drawn. Okay, still. No, this is not good. Still, I guess a draw is possible. Still, draw is possible. But it is a hard time now because you got to bring the knight to d2, that is one. But a passer, oh my God. Oh, this is bad. Now the only move is knight c6. If pawn into pawn, knight check. If pawn push, then knight go to d4 and knight, but that is a piece down. So he has mishandled. So this is a losing move. She should play king to d4. Simple. Idea kd3. Never worry for the b passer. Terrible. It's very painful to lose a simple drawn game. A bad day for the Orissa WGM. Who is this? What happened here? Hey, how the matter turned out? Here, this move, this. Don't you think knight into pawn winning? Yeah, he played this move. It should be winning. Now it is check. Now rook takes pawn. Idea rook into knight and mate. Over. Over. What else? It's good, but black was better at some point of time. Black mishandled the position. Okay, so it's lost. Who is this? Monica. This is okay. This is draw. Who is this? Isha Sharma Mitika. It should win now. Now Now 5 4 pawn 3 pawn, it is reducing. Now d6 is the move, d6 is the move, should win, because d6 and rook d1 is coming, but rook d1 you have got, yeah, rook d1 is coming, rook queen c2 check is there, d6, bad position. This position should have won, not this g3. How can you get counterplay now? There is one way out, here, one way out, queen to h4, so rd7 can come, but queen into queen, pawn into rd7, the rook ending one pawn up, queen h4 attacking rook and queen. If you play queen c2 check, then king s3 and rook to d7, rook to d7, counterplay, the king is badly placed, some counterplay black has got, Mitika. So what is this position? Buddha. Should be winning a piece up, after all a piece clean. Black is winning. Chitlange. Okay, I think I will end the stream now because I am also hungry. Now this is difficult. Bhakti is in a clearly better position, and this is a draw from a clear winning position, and a game of fluctuation of fortune. The wrong piece sack and returned the piece unnecessarily and got a chance and did not materialize it. Winning. This is unfortunate. kd4 with an easy draw in hand. Terrible. Over. Mate. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so I should stop. Thank you very much, friend, everybody, for being with me, and today's games were very interesting. I enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow again at 9:45 for the ninth and interesting battles in ahead. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.